cases are use case models are nothing but a models which represent a interaction model where we have a external user who is going to interact with the system. So what are these systems? These systems are nothing but a use cases. So how do we represent a use case in a UML? The use case are represented by a oval shape. By using this oval shape, it indicates the functionality of the system, whatever the major functionalities are there. So all these functionalities are represented with respect to the system. Are you able to see the screen? Lata, are you able to see the screen, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we had taken a beverage as a use case where we had a beverage has a use case where the customer is going to select one of the beverages, and we had a perform scheduled maintenance, make repair, load items. So these are the use cases, and for this buying a beverage we had a use case description. Okay. So we had represented the UML diagram for a vending machine. So where we had three actors and how these actors are associated with respect to the use cases. And we have completed this guidelines for framing or designing the use case. So next we have a sequence model. So what is the sequence model? Again, this is one of the category under a interaction modeling, which represents a high level of abstraction of a diagram. So in a sequence model, what we are going to do is we are trying to identify the scenario. So based on a scenario, how the sequence are to be executed, in what way the objects are going to communicate with each other. So based on this scenario, we are trying to execute the actual experiment with respect to the communication, how the communication is going to happen. So how do we define a scenario? A scenario is nothing but a sequence of events that occurs one after the other during the execution of a system for a particular use case. Say for example, if you have taken an example of a result announcement. So what happens? So first our schedule timetable will be displayed to the students. So students are going to prepare for a exam. So that is a second thing. Then on the corresponding date, the students will write a exam for the allocated subject. So once the exam is been completed, faculty is going to evaluate the paper. Then the result will be marks will be combined for each and every students. Then the result will be displayed. So this is what we call it as a scenario. It is a steps one after the other. It is a steps or a event that will be carried out. So for these steps, what we are trying to do is we are trying to identify how the objects are going to communicate. So we have in our example we have a one more example here. So this is a scenario of a online brokerage system. So do anyone know what is a brokerage system? Stock brokerage? Anyone? Do you know how stock brokerage is going to work? Srinidhi? Yes, respond to me. Anyone? Unmute and speak. Okay, here is an example. So where John Doe logs in. So once he logs in, what happens? A secure communication system will be established. So once the communication system is established, so what happens? System will display the portfolio information. Then once the information is displayed, now what the John will do, he will enter the order that how many shares he want to buy of which company. So he will enter the number of shares of a particular company, say for example of a GE company, at the market price. Say market price may be 50 rupees, so 100 into 50, so how much? So he need to pay 5,000 rupees for a stock brokerage system. So now what happens? So once he gives the order for purchasing those shares, so the system has to verify whether that customer is having a sufficient fund. So if he is having a sufficient fund, then he can make a purchase. So what the system will do, the system will display the confirmation screen with the estimated cost. That is, I said for per share it is 50 rupees, he is going to buy 100 shares, so it will display 5,000 amount. So now what happens? Now the John will confirm that he want to purchase those many shares. So once he confirms, so what happens? The system will place the order on behalf of John in a security exchange. So now what happens? The system is going to display the transaction tracking number. So whatever the transaction that the customer is going to perform, so for each and every transaction, tracking number will be provided. So what happens? Once he gets a tracking number, now he will log out of the system. So the system establishes a insecure communication. That means whatever the login credentials are there, so with his credential it will come out and it will display the home screen. So the after that what happens? The security exchange will display the results of the trade. So whatever the per day trading happens, that entire trading information will be displayed on a portfolio system. So now for this scene, this is a scenario what I have read a summary, right? So this is a summary or a scenario. So for this scenario, it is a sequence of execution or a event. So one after the other, what is the next event to be executed? So this has to be written in terms of a sequence diagram. So how do we write a sequence diagram? So it can be a text format, which can be written for a convenient purpose. So we have, say for example, there will be two objects. So one is a sender and one is a receiver. What the sender will do, the sender is going to send a message, and the receiver object is going to accept the message and it will send in a form of a acknowledgement. So these exchange of messages can be done with respect to the sequence of execution of the event. So that we call it as an interaction between the two objects. So whatever the interaction that is going to happen between a object, so all this will be a part of the use case. That is, whatever the actual functionalities are there, so those functionalities will be written in a form of a messages. So here is a sequence diagram, that how we are trying to write a diagram with respect to the online stock brokerage to establish a secure communication. So what are the object that we have? We have a customer, stockbroker system, and security exchange. What the customer will do, the customer will log in into the stock brokerage system. So once the customer logs in, what the brokerage system will do, it will verify the customer. That is, it is going to check for the credentials of the customer, whether he is a valid customer, he is a genuine customer. So once the customer verification gets over, so it establishes a secured communication. So once the communication is established, then what happens? It will display the portfolio information of that particular customer. So once it displays the portfolio information, the customer can enter the purchase data. That means whatever the stock that he want to purchase, the customer is going to enter the purchase data. So in a previous example what we have taken, that John is going to purchase a 100 shares of a GE company. So similarly here what happens, the customer is going to enter the purchase data. So once he is going to enter the purchase data, it will display the amount, what is the estimated amount. So that after displaying, so the system will verify whether the customer is having a sufficient funds to purchase all the stock. So once the customer gives a confirmation for purchasing the stock brokerage, so what happens, it will display, the stock brokerage system will display the order number to the customer. Simultaneously it will place the order on behalf of the customer to the security exchange. So here you can see when it places the order for a security exchange, so it is going to execute the order. So meanwhile when the order is being executing, so the customer will log out of the system. So the stock brokerage system will be in a insecure communication. That means it will go to the home page and it will display. Then what happens, later the trading result will be sent to the stock brokerage system, where it will update how many number of stocks are available. So those many purchases are happened, so those information will be displayed in a stock brokerage system. So next, in this sequence diagram, what we have, how the customer is going to make a stock purchase. So the customer will enter the purchase data to the brokerage system. So this is a part of a sequence diagram. That means we have a different functionalities, right? So the customer will log in into the portfolio. So verification can be a one particular event, then purchasing one event. So after purchasing, quoting can be one more event. Okay, so here what happens, the customer will enter the purchase data. So the stock brokerage system will verify the fund and it will send for the request confirmation. So once the customer gives the confirmation, so what happens, it will display the order number. So once the order number is displayed, so what happens, it will place the order and it will report the result. It will execute the order and it will report the trading result. So next what we have a stock code diagram. So in this stock code diagram, what we have a customer, stock brokerage system and the security exchange. So what the customer will do, the customer is going to enter the stock symbol. Say each and every company has their own stock symbol. So the customer can purchase or can quote the stock by using the stock symbol. So once he enters the stock symbol to the brokerage system, so what the brokerage system will do, it will send the message to the security exchange requesting for the stock data. So how many stocks are available, whether that customer can purchase the particular stock. So those details has to be brought to the notice of the customer through the brokerage system. So when the broker system sends the message for a security exchange, the security exchange will report the stock and it will display the what is the actual codes that are available. So here is a one sequence diagram. In not only in all the cases that a system is going to work in a perfect order, so there can be a failure in a system, so that can be represented in a model itself. So as we have seen in with respect to the buy beverage, so we can have an exception that there is a no change, the stock can be out. So similarly in a stock brokerage system, when we are trying to identify with respect to the sequence diagram. So what we can happen, so we can identify how the sequence, how the stock purchase can fail. So here what happens, we have a customer, so the customer will enter the purchase data, that how many stock that he want to purchase. So that will go to the stock brokerage system. So once it goes to the stock brokerage system, so whatever the purchase data that he has entered, it will verify whether the customer is having a sufficient funds. Say for example, the customer has to purchase a 50 or 100 stock, so each of having a 100 rupees. So in that case what happens, so it will be more than 10,000. So the customer should have a sufficient amount. So if he is not having a sufficient fund to purchase, then what happens, the stock brokerage, while verifying the fund itself, it will say that you are not having a sufficient fund to purchase the whatever the purchase data or whatever the code that you have given. So what happens, so the stock brokerage system will reject the purchase. So since the stock brokerage system is going to reject the purchase, so the customer can cancel later, he is going to cancel the purchase. So this is how the stock purchase is going to fail due to the insufficient funds. So that means what, here we can identify based on the model itself, we can design, so where the failure can happen. So how you can design the system with respect to the failure, what are the reasons for failure, so everything can be brought up in a model itself. So next we have a guidelines for sequence model. That means what, when we are preparing a sequence model, we need to go through these guidelines, how to prepare a sequence diagram. So first guideline is prepare at least one scenario per use case. That means the use case indicates a functionalities, so each and every functionalities has its own complexity. So what is the thing that we need to do, so for each and every use case we need to write a at least one particular scenario. So all this scenario will be taken as a logical commands, but not as a individual button or individual interfaces. So here what we are trying to identify, we are trying to implement the entire scenario, so where the activity is going to happen, so how the interaction is going to happen with respect to the various parameter. So next thing is abstract the scenario into the sequence diagram. So first we need to write a scenarios. So once the scenario is being written, then what we need to do, we need to draw the sequence diagram for each and every scenario. Each scenario will be taken in terms of messages that will be communicated between the object. So next thing is divide the complex interaction. That means what, if we are having a tedious job of having a different interaction, so you need to break down into a smaller task, and each smaller task will represent a small interaction in a sequence diagram that will be considered as a operations or a messages in terms of a sequence diagram. So next thing is prepare a sequence diagram for each error condition. That means even though here in a stock brokerage we have seen a insufficient fund has a failure, so that is a error condition. That means we need to identify where the error can arise, so that error has to be identified, and that has to be the system has to be shown with respect to the error, and how the system is going to behave with respect to that particular error, that has to be seen. So this is how we need to ensure the or we need to identify how to write the sequence diagram. So next we have a activity diagram. So in an activity diagram, what we have, it is nothing but it is similar to the workflow or a flow diagram. So how the events has to be executed, or how the task has to be implemented, or how it follows the how the control is going to move from one object to the another object with respect to the algorithm. So we have taken an example of a stock brokerage. So for the same stock brokerage, what we can do, we can write a activity diagram how the stock trading processing is going to happen. So the solid circle indicates the initial state. So it will go to the verification of the order. So once it goes to the verification order, it will transfer the control for executing the order. So once the after this, it will for execution of order, it has to verify the condition. So what is the condition? Either success or a failure. So if it is a success, then what happens, the process will be broken into three different process. So one is a send the confirmation, debit the account, and update the portfolio. That means if the execution of order is successful, it will ask for the confirmation of the purchase of stock. So once the confirmation is given, it will debit the amount from the customer, and it will update in a online portfolio. So once these stages is being completed, then what happens, after debiting from the account, it will settle the trade. That means there are no other payment that has to be done. So it is going to generate a receipt for the transaction. Then it will combine all the process together, and it will close the order. If there is a failure, if the execution of order is not happening, then what happens, it should generate a failure notice why the stock purchase is not happening, and it has to move to the close order, and it indicates the end of the activity. So this end of the activity is being denoted with the bull's eye. So, or we can call it as a fine activity final, or a final activity. Okay, next what we have, we whenever we are trying to identify the activities, so how to identify these activities? So what we can put up in an activity diagram has an action. So here we have a operation. So all this operation will be indicated in terms of activities. So these activities will be written in a form of a steps or a actions. So say for example, operations can be like this: verify order, execute order, debit account. So these are called as a operations or an activity that will be represented in terms of a action. So all this activity will be indicated from one event to the other event. So once the verification happens, customer is verified, then what is the next thing? So what activity has to be carried out? So how can we identify the next activity? So we are using a arrow button, so that arrow indicates so the upcoming activity. So it is a transition from one activity to another activity, which cause a next activity to start or to begin. So here is an activity for execute order. So in a previous example, we have seen in this diagram execute order. So execute order is a one particular functionality, and this within this operation we have a various tedious task that can be expanded. So that is shown in this diagram. So for executing the order, so first it will be from an initial state. So it will verify the market order. So this is a guarded condition, that is the market order. So here what happens, it will identify whether the customer is buying or a selling. So if the customer is trying to sell, so what happens, the he is at a selling end, he want to find a buyer who is going to buy all his stocks at a marketplace, then it indicates the end of the activity. Whereas a buying buyer, what the buyer will do, the buyer will look for a seller who want to sell the stock at the market price, and after looking out, it will can be an end. So next what happens, while purchasing the order, there can be a limitations of purchasing. So here what happens, it has to verify so whether the prices are available at a market price. So if it is not available, then what happens, it will check whether the order is active. So if the order is active, then again it will remit the order and it will verify for the prices availability. So in case if it is prices are not available, if the order is not active, it will indicate the timeout or a session, end of the session, and it indicates the end of the activity. Or if prices are available, then what happens, the seller will find the buyer for a limited price or for a better price, or the buyer will look for the seller for a limited price for a better price. So this is how the execute order is going to work with respect to the action. So next thing is branches. So what do we mean by the branches? It is nothing but a condition, right? So if any one of the condition is satisfied, so it has to execute that corresponding statements or corresponding action, or else it has to execute the other way round. So in this case, what we are indicating, in an activity diagram we can indicate the branch. So how do we indicate the branch? So the branch is indicated with the rhombus symbol. So this symbol indicates the condition or a branch. So either of the condition. Okay, so here what we need to do, all the conditions will be satisfied, or it has to execute all the statements at least once. So how we are indicating that active all the conditions are tested? So we are indicating with its arrow what is the next activity that has to be taken care. If no condition is satisfied, then it indicates that whatever the model that we have written, so that model is a bad model and we need to refine the model. So what we can do, we have to write it in a form of a if and or a else condition. If that particular condition is not satisfied, it has to move to the else part and it has to be executed. So like that, what we can have, we can write a multiple conditions and all the conditions can be satisfied. In such a way we can write the model. So whatever the activity diagram that we are writing, so when we are taking the model to the implementation stage, it should be in a form of a executable. So what we call it as a executable activity diagram. That means we are trying to identify the complex process. So whatever the complex process are there, all this complex process has to be executed with respect to the progress. So how do we ensure the progress of the system? So we are identifying with respect to the different actions and which is a next or a successor activity. So whether we are, so how the activity can be taken care, and how the activity can be removed if it is not working in a proper manner. Okay, next is a guideline for activity. So how do we represent the activity diagram? So first thing is, we should not misuse the activity diagram. In that case, whatever the in a interaction model, we know that we have a use case model, sequence model, and a activity model. So when we are trying to develop or write a activity diagram, we should elaborate the use case and a sequence model in such a way that it should be in a form of a workflow or a algorithm. So next thing is, we need to identify whatever the model that we have written, it should be similar to the flow chart, and we should represent the activities in terms of a level diagram. So level diagrams can be the context level, level 0, level 1, and level 2, where we are indicating at a different high level and a low level diagrams. So next, what we have a branches and a condition. That means whenever we are trying to indicate our branches, we should be careful enough that is one of the condition must be satisfied. So if that particular condition is not satisfied, so how the error can be erased? So that error condition must be indicated in a model itself. Next thing is, be careful with the concurrent activities. So when we are having the concurrent activities, when all the activities has to be executed in parallel, so what actual result has to be executed, whether those result is acceptable or not, that has to be taken care. Next thing is, consider the executable activity diagram. So whatever the activity diagram are there, so when we are trying to implement the same activity diagram with respect to the software, it should be in a form of a executable process. So that indicates the end of the activity diagram or a chapter 7. So do you have any doubts with respect to use case model, sequence, or a activity model? Yes, speak out, anyone?
No doubts, ma'am.
No doubt. Okay. So if you have a notebook, take out the notebook. Can you switch on your video? Everyone, can you turn on your videos? Yes, take down a question. Everyone. Are you there, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, take down the question. Draw use case model. Draw use case model, sequence model, sequence model, sequence model, and activity model, and the model activity model for 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 the mobile for the mobile recharge. Okay, so the application is, you want to recharge your mobile. So for recharging your mobile, so you need to write a scenarios Okay, and the sequence diagram. So I'll give 5 minutes of time. You can, if you have, once you have done, you can scan it and show, or you can switch on your video and you can show your diagram. Is it fine? 5 minutes, everyone? ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. Has anyone completed writing the model? Has anyone completed? Sunil?
Ma'am, writing, ma'am.
Has anyone completed with your model? Has any doubts you are having with respect to use case sequence or activity? Srinidhi? Srinidhi? Gangubai Aitama? Gangubai, have you finished? Unmute and speak. Sunil, have you completed? Arjun?
Ma'am, I'm doing, ma'am. 2 minutes, ma'am.
Yes, done. How long you need? Already 15 minutes over. Yes, you can turn on your video and anyone and you can explain what you have written. Deepika, Deepika MB.
Ma'am, writing, ma'am. 2 minutes, ma'am.
Ma'am, Arjun, ma'am.
What?
Ma'am,
Tell me,
the
Arjun.
sequence
Done?
diagram. Yeah, ma'am.
Can you turn on your video and show what you have drawn?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, I'll share the screen, ma'am. 1 second.
Okay.
Ma'am, is it visible?
Okay, visible.
Ma'am, starting registered user,
Okay.
next third party system,
Hmm.
next third party service, and service provider, ma'am.
Hmm.
So, register users try to log in, and that login request will go to third party system. Through
Hmm.
that, authentication will go to server, like whether he is a valid user or not. If he is a valid user, it will find and it will respond to the third party service again, valid user or not. Again, if, as I told, if it is a valid user, then it will show authentication successful. So registered successful means login.
Okay.
So next, select service provider. For SIM, no, we should select Airtel or Jio or like that. So once we select, request to provider, like service URL, the service provider we are requesting for recharge. So if I take example of Airtel, I send the request to service provider, that is Airtel. So they responded according to that, like how much amount you wanted to enter. So I entered third party system that responded to registered user, enter recharge amount. So after entering the recharge amount will be requested with the third party services, like service provider. Then service provider again, they'll respond and which payment gateway we have to select. Then we'll select the payment gateway, user will select, and it will go to third party system. Again it will go to payment successful. Once it's successful, they'll acknowledge delivered is successful, and then at finally, ma'am, we'll get acknowledgement, ma'am. It is a successful
Okay.
request.
Okay. Then.
Yeah, ma'am.
Only sequence you have written?
Yeah, ma'am. 2 minutes, ma'am. That one I'm doing sequence.
Okay. Anyone else? Rashmi? Priyanka? Yes, you can
Ma'am, I did use case, ma'am.
use case. Okay, can you display?
1 second, ma'am.
Class has been concluded, students. Last class. Avitra?
Sridevi ma'am, just 2 minutes.
Oh, you are still there, ma'am. Okay.
I'm there. Okay, you can type your USN in chat box. Everyone.
Ma'am, can I show?
Yeah. What are the functionalities you have taken, Rashmi?
Ma'am, I'm audible. Ma'am, I took one customer as actor, and
Okay.
another one is a service provider.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. And I took get recharge details
Okay.
and also update order, ma'am. It is confirmed, it will be recharged, and it is
Okay.
not confirmed, it get rejected, and
Okay.
also it's updated, and also it's get if once recharge done, it get payment, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, just type your USN. I will take the attendance later. I'm going to mark in my attendance book. Okay.